Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Seasoned and Smart. My name is Dave Libby. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Greater Lynn Senior Services, and I'd like to welcome you here today. My guest today is Warren Hopkins, who is the Outreach Coordinator for the Swampscott Senior Center, and I'd like to welcome you today, Warren, to the show. Before we get to our interview with Warren, I'd like to give a little history of today's show. For the past few years, we have been focusing on men's health issues, and June actually happens to be Men's Health Month, so it's our topic today. GLIS has been fortunate enough to receive grants from the Lynn Cancer Association. This association is a North Shore group that has been a leader in providing educational and medical resources for the prevention and treatment of cancer. At Greater Lynn Senior Services, the Men's Health Education Research Program has held a number of focus groups with men to learn more about how men get and want to receive information that will help them stay healthy. One of the things that we have learned from the men in this focus group is that they define health broadly to include mental, social, and physical health. The Swampscott Men's Club is one group that has wide interest and activities, as we shall see, and it provides great opportunities for maintaining and establishing friendships. The video that we are about to see will give you some sense of the club, some of the activities they get involved in, and when we return from the video, we'll be talking to Warren, and he will provide more insight into the men's club and some of the social aspects that the men get from this particular group. So, at this point, let's show the video. Good morning, I'm Dave Libby and I'm joining you today from Reedy Meadow Golf Course at Linfield Center, and my guest today is Chuck Marcoux, who is involved in Greater Lynn Senior Services and the men's group at the Swampscott Senior Center. Chuck, maybe you can talk to us about how you got involved in Greater Lynn Senior Services.
Actually, my wife was the director of the Council on Aging in Swampscott, and Vince LeQuy at the time was the executive director and needed someone from Swampscott as a representative. And so my wife asked me if I would go, and but me, I was one of these people that was you honey-do, so I said sure. So I went in and I started, but that was my beginning at GLIS.
And your current role at GLIS is the treasurer of the board of directors, and you serve on the finance committee.
That's correct. And you're the fiscal director, so we see each other twice a month.
Yes, we do. So how did you get involved in the men's group at the Swampscott Senior Center?
Almost the same idea. My wife was a director at that time, and she asked me if I would, knowing that people actually, when they retired, the men especially, there weren't too many men going to these meetings, and she said, well, perhaps you can get some idea of people coming in and wanting to do different things to get the men to come to the center. So Warren Hopkins at the time was an outreach director, and I said, he's a perfect person to be able to get these people to come, because he was a baseball and hockey coach for many years and knew quite a few men. And that's how he actually got enough men at the first meeting. He was able to get about 25 men to come for the first meeting. So we set up a list of what they would like to do, either golfing, bowling, skiing, tennis, whatever. And we, believe it or not, we got quite a few people that wanted to play golf and bowl. And that's how we started that.
Did you find it difficult to get men involved in the group? I mean, it sounds like a pretty active itinerary with the stuff that you're doing, but did you find it hard recruiting people?
Actually, it was very difficult if we were doing it on our own, but I give all the credit to Warren Hopkins, who had the nucleus of being able to get all these people to come, and they were loyal to him because they really loved him. He was a great guy. It still is, and he's still involved and still runs the men's club that's there. Well, we have once a month we have a speaker that comes and gives us talks at the men's club. So for that, he's built that up to about 50 members that are in the Swampscott Senior Center themselves. the outside is with some of them that play golf. They also go to the same meetings, golf and bowling.
Okay. And outside of golf and bowling, what are some of the other activities that the men's group?
Well, we got
Taken.
friendly with each other. We got to know each other real well. We help each other, and we decided to, after certain times of the year, during the springtime, early spring, we go into Boston on the ferry and walk around. We do other things besides now socially.
Okay. And you're a member of that group, and how do you think that that has benefited you?
I really enjoy it and look forward to it. It's a way of getting out and playing a little more golf and doing a lot of bowling, which I never did for about 30 years, and everyone feels the same way.
Yeah, it sounds like a great group. I'd like to thank you for joining us this morning here at the Reedy Meadow Golf Course at Linfield Center, and my guest Chuck Marcoux, and learning more about men's groups and the group at Swampscott Senior Center. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And come down and play golf with us sometime.
I'd like that.
Welcome. I'm Susan Brown. I'm with the GLIS Men's Health Education Program, and we're here at the Swampscott Senior Center, and I'm with some of the men who belong to the Swampscott Men's Club. This is Howard Vatcher, Myron Stone, and John Carden over here on my right. And they're going to be sharing a bit with us about their experiences with the men's group and how it got founded and what some of the joys and the pleasures are. So I really thank you for being here. I'm going to start with you, Howard. If you could just tell us a little bit about how the group, or how you got involved with the group, how things got started, and anything else you'd like to share.
Well, as I recall, it was about 8 years ago, and my wife helped refresh my memory. She participated in the exercise group at the former location on Burrow Street, and Warren Hopkins was trying to get more men involved in the group. And he mentioned it to her, and she mentioned it to me, and I attended one of the functions that they had for the men, and found it very entertaining and pleasing, and met a lot of old acquaintances that you see very infrequently. And in fact, I mentioned it to John Carden that it was a good activity, and that's how we got started, meeting once a month with the men's group.
And you're still with it.
Absolutely.
8 years, right? Is that what you said? 8 years? That's great. And I know, Myron, that you, when we were talking earlier, you were mentioning about a little bit about how the group works and how people get involved with the group, and then some of the particular things that have really been important to you. So I'm going to pass the mic to you if you can share that with us.
Thank you. Well, when I retired, I never went to the senior center because I thought it was mostly all women. When Warren called and said he wanted to start this men's group, we went to the first meeting, and I thought it was great. I thought it was something that was going to be very beneficial to keep me occupied. I met people that I knew but just used to see in passing, but gotten to know them better, and we've become very, very good friends.